Welcome back everybody to the R44 YouTube channel, and welcome Dylan's car, which is looking insanely different. I don't know if we're going to run an intro to the car before this or how we're going to release it, or if this is the first time you're seeing it in this version, which is very cool. But we are not talking about the color, talking about the looks of the car, anything. We are talking more performance, and today we're talking brakes, which if you are an M2 fan, if you are an F-Series fan, you would know that these are not any standard brakes. These are a 2NH conversion, which I believe Dylan's been running for a while now, and we're going to give you a bit more detail as to what products we are fitting. And yeah, this is a very cool upgrade. Possibly, in my opinion, being an OG M2 owner, this is the best OEM Plus upgrade you can do to your car. So this is actually an optional extra you can get from the factory, but is also something that you can fit after the fact. If you've bought a used F-Series M2, you can add these on, which I believe are the same setup, the same sort of brake sizing as an F10 M5, which is a massive upgrade. And if I throw up a picture here of what they look like standard, being a 2-piston as opposed to a 4-piston on the rear, these are insanely different. There is a lot more braking power. We're going to end the waffle here. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to head over to the bench, and Reese is going to talk you through all the parts that we are going to fit. Reese is here now to show you what we're doing.
Subscribe. All right, so yeah, as Reagan was mentioning, these are the brakes that are going on to the F87 M2 Dylan's one, which is a full 2NH replacement. The EBC 2-piece discs, the benefit of these, well, you're quite lucky on an M car. You do have a kind of pretty much a 2-piece construction that allows the center of the brake disc to expand differently to the actual outer ring. But the best thing about the EBCs, if you're using them a lot on track, which is what they're designed for, and you're using an aggressive pad like an RPX or an endurance pad, you can actually rip through the outside discs themselves and keep the bells. The bells are pretty bulletproof. It's very rare that you get an issue with those. It's more an issue with the actual discs itself. So in the past, what we've done is just taken out these screws, kept our bells, and bought a replacement part, and it just slowly reduces the cost if you're running a track car all season. But long story short, for Dylan that just drives to Tesco, this is just going to be for visual effect of such, and just a long-term solution. These are a nice bit of kit. I don't know what they are in comparison price-wise to an OE rear disc, but they definitely look a lot better than the rusty original disc that's on the car. So that's going to go on. They come pre-torqued, ready to install, which is good. Just keep an eye on the markers left and right. You can also buy the replacement fitting screws and install new ones when you take the old ones off, because if you're lucky enough to get the old ones out, it's not recommended to put them back in. Moving back to the pad setup, as we mentioned previously, I think, or maybe not in this video, but going for an RPX, a little bit of an aggressive pad. It's not the best for the street, but it makes a lot of noise. But this car is used on track. It's a hybrid. It's used as a daily, going to car shows, as well as hitting the track quite a bit. If you do want to run an RPX and a day pad, you can, on these calipers, slide the pads in pretty easily of such. No wear sensor adapter on an RPX. So we've dropped to one wear sensor, so just one rear wear sensor to match with the blue stuff. A blue stuff is a legal rear pad, I'm pretty sure. Actually, don't quote me for that. I think the yellow stuff is 100% street legal, so it's a street legal aftermarket alternative to an original OEM pad. That's better. But yeah, a blue stuff is a good pad. We tend to not put an RPX on the rear because you don't need it. On these modern cars, they've got such good traction control. The traction control tends to be actioned through the rear brake calipers to get the car back into position. So if you use an aggressive RPX pad, you're just going to wear out your discs. So blue stuff will actually keep the disc cost down long term. And if you're a G80 owner, 100% really recommend it, because the G80s are really bad with traction control wear on the pads. So yeah, that's it pretty much. Pad setup, those, and some original fittings, and we've already got hell lines, I think, on the vehicle maybe, and motor fluid throughout the system. So it's pretty geared up for what it needs to do. But yeah, let's get on it.
We are installing the pad. Now, the reason we grease the parts up as to where they are greased is there was 3 on the backing plate which make contact with the pistons in the caliper, and then also the contact with the caliper where it slides in and out sort of when you're braking and when you're off the brakes. It produces less sort of squeaking. It's lubricated, everything like that, because we know it goes through a lot of heat cycles. There's a lot of dirt that gets in that area, so we need something that's lubricated so that they can move in and out of the caliper easily. And we have this Paget grease, which we sell on the website. So when you are getting a set of disc pads for your car, you're going to want to order a set of these as well. So hopefully you can hear me, Reese.
You do ones of those, right?
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Hopefully you can see that with Reese is getting in the way. These bolts here, look how corroded they get, and they are no good. They're very light, fragile piece, so you need to change these when the new discs go on. That's serious. Why are the brakes so sharp? This is how I feel when I first learned how to drive automatics. I don't know if you know the difference, but like, or if anybody watches this remembers the difference with how like sharp they are. I'm just hovering above it. That's it. It's just, wow, they are very sharp.
Really?
Sharp.
Go for a little bit and just forward. Yeah. I'm resting on that. Yeah. Right, we are out in Dylan's M2, which is the first time for me driving this since its new look. If you haven't seen that video already, go and check that out because it's a very cool release. And I don't think you understand how much effort and time and delays we went into getting this build done for the release of the new GTX kit, which is a success, I would say. I really thought that I was going to have to like probably put on how sharp these brakes actually are, but these are seriously like, I'm just resting my foot on there and it's like, you know, like you're having to make an effort to brake in like a normal car. Although this is, like we said earlier in the video, this is a hybrid car, so it's, you know, like daily driving, but you can also go on the track. And I'm really interested to see on how much this 2NH brake conversion actually adds to the car, because the M2 is a lot smaller, it's slightly lighter, but yeah, this braking setup is serious. But they do squeak a lot. That is something I would say. I don't know if we can get a little squeak test. They squeak a lot. Really wish that I could portray to you through the camera on how sharp these discs are. I'm so scared to actually like really put any pressure on these brakes because I feel like it's going to give me some serious G's that I'm not ready for. So I think while Dylan is daily driving this around London, you're coming up to a lot of traffic stops, traffic jams, things like that. I think it may be sensible to part out the RPX brake pads and go for something a bit more, you know, something you can still put heat through, but not something that is as savage as the RPX is, because it's more so just the squeaking. It's cool, but you don't want to be hearing that all the time. I'm not putting that on at all. I am resting my foot on that brake pedal. I don't know how many times I can say that. This braking setup for your M2, I personally think the fitment is too aggressive for the track. I think once the weight transfer gets into play, yeah, we're going to be scrubbing, we're going to be rubbing the arches, which we don't want to do because we have just newly wrapped this car. So yeah, it'd be a shame to ruin the arches with this extra spicy fitment. But it does look very nice. I'll throw up a clip here of how it looks, maybe a few images, and yeah. But for the track, I think we're gonna have to fit some slightly smaller spacers, and yeah, get the fitment a bit better for track, a bit more tolerance, let's say, on the arches, because we don't want to ruin them. So it's key to know with this braking setup being as aggressive as it is, it doesn't have to be. These are the EBC RPX's brake pads that are on the front, but you can get an alternative which will be suited a lot more to your daily driving. So if you still wanted essentially the same braking efficiency, but you wanted, you know, you do a bit more daily driving, let's say 70% and then 30% track, RP1s. Depends how much you're driving it daily, really. If you're driving it more daily, then you want to go with something that's a bit smoother on the brake pedal. But yeah, this is a very savage setup. I think we've done this for the reveal of the car, but I do think realistically, if Dylan doesn't want to lose his head driving around
daily in this car at slower speeds, I think it would be a shout to get the RP1s on the car as well. And then when we go to a track day, take them out, put the new ones in, and yeah, you can rinse them on track all day, every day. Sorry to just quickly interject this video while you're watching it. Maya's going to tell you where to find all the parts that we have taken in this video, exactly as they are, genuine parts, EBC parts, everything like that. Where are they going to find them?
r44performance.co.uk.
Correct, but there is a tab in r44performance.co.uk where you will find in the
Blog.
Yes, there we go. So, yes, that's correct. So, all the parts that we have listed in this video are on the blog on the website. So, I'll link that down below. But anyway, back to the video. So, that is going to be it for this week's YouTube video. And that is going to be it for the brake upgrade on this M2 Comp World, on Dylan's M2 Comp. So, I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you how they fit in the wheel, what they look like. Because previously, Dylan had some Titan, I forget the name of them now, wheels on there before the reveal, which essentially didn't show them off as much as they should have done. So we changed the wheels on the car, upgraded them. Well, now you can see the braking setup a lot more in the wheels. So this is the front setup, which as you can see, these just fill out the wheels so much more. Look at the caliper size. I do think the grey's fine, but I do think we should get some sort of pole where we upgrade these and maybe paint them or something into the same color as the car. I think that'll be a nice little addition. But yeah, this is how they fit the wheels. And then coming to the rear, this is how they fit on the rear, which I think makes the most difference because stock brakes on the rear of these M cars seem very small. People want to know how serious you are about your braking setup. So if you are interested in this 2NH brake setup conversion, sort of upgrade to your car, then get in the comments, let us know. And also the links will be down in the description. Any questions you want on the brakes of this car, on the setup of this car, anything to do with this car or anything to do with any M car in fact, then hit us up on the socials, email us. But yeah, if you want to check out any parts, head to the R44 website and we will see you on the next one.